so just going to do a quick refresh. So yesterday we looked at when we had two matrices, and if we are going to be able to multiply them together. So say, for example, I had two matrices and they were their order. For it to be able to do it, you first have to say it's defined and this number has to equal that number. And so it does. And then the order of the answer will be, it'll be a 2 by 5. So that's what we practiced yesterday, yeah? So we now know what our answers will look like when we actually do the multiplication. All right, so that's what we're going to do now today. We're actually going to multiply and find the actual answer. All right, so what we're going to do here, so if we have a look, we've got matrix multiplication. So when you've got your first matrix here, so this is a 2 by 2 and this one's a 2 by 2. Okay, it can be performed because those middle ones are equal, and my answer is going to be a 2 by 2. So here's the 2 by 2 here, where this is going to be one element, this will be another element, there's your other one. Okay, so there's your 4 elements in your 2 by 2. And if you have what we often refer to it when we're multiplying is what we say is you go run and dive. So what you can see is this row gets multiplied with this column of the second one. And so you can see A got multiplied with E, and then you add B multiplied with G. Now, because this is in the answer, you're in row 1, column 1, so you know which row you've used. You have to use row 1 there, and you have to use column 1 in the second one. So say, for example, I was over here at this answer, this element, because it's in row 2, column 2, I would have used this row in the first one with this column, okay? So it's panning it out there. So we often say run and dive, but it's going to be a little bit complicated at the start. So let me do one with you so we can work them out slowly. All right, so we've got the following matrices here, and they want us to multiply certain ones together. So first of all, they want me to multiply A with B. Okay, so if you have a look, A is, let's check that we can do it. A is a 3 by 2 and B is a 2 by 1. Okay, so when we end up with our answer, what order will our answer be? A. So it can be done, it is defined, and our answer is going to be a 3 by 1. Good. So we'll say a 3 by 1. So what you want to do, particularly when you're doing these, is I often say, well, so I'm going to do it underneath. Draw out the matrix, what your answer should be. So it should be 3 rows with 1 column. So you're essentially going to have 3 little answers there. So what I mean here, these will be your 3, there'll be 3 numbers written out in that spot, okay? So let's, underneath here, I'm going to actually write what matrix A is. Sorry. So matrix A is 5, 4, and 1, and 2, 6, and 3. And we're going to multiply it with B, which is says 8 and 9. Okay. So I'm going to do in every spot here in our matrix, I'll do it in a different color so you can see where I've got it from. All right, so let's look at this first spot here. So if we're looking at this first spot here, we are essentially in, it's row 1, isn't it? And column 1 of my answer. Would you agree? So what it means, I'm going to use row 1 of this matrix, and it's going to be multiplied with column 1 in the second matrix. So it happens that it's going to be 5 times 8. So this row, and then plus 2 will get multiplied with 9. Can you see that? So this row, you sort of flip it and you multiply them with the opposite like the number of the columns, and you're going to add it together. So we add it together. So if I look at this next one in here, this spot here, so if we were looking, that's row 2, column 1. So I'm going to use row 2 with column 1 of the second matrix. So we're going to have 4 times 8 plus 6 times 9. Okay, so there's that one. And then if we look at our last answer here, last spot that we need to find, if I write out, that's row 3 in column 1 of my answer. So it means I've got to use row 3 of the first matrix with column 1 of the second. So it'll be 1 times 8 plus 3 times 9. All right, so then you could obviously tidy that up and actually do those numbers. So 5 times 8 is 40, plus 2 times 9 is 18, and that one would be 32 plus 54, and 8 plus 27, and then you can even tidy it up one more time, add them together. So you end up with 58, 86, and 35. So can you see this is a 3 by 1, which is what you said your answer was, wasn't it? And we've got it there. So let's have a go at this next one. They're asking us to multiply C first multiplied by D. Okay, so let's check the orders first. What's the order of C? Is a 1 by 3, good. And D is a 3 by 1. So if we multiply them together, and we will get CD, first we're going to check it's defined. It is, yes. And what will our answer be? It'll be a 1 by 1, good. So we're going to end up with a 1 by 1 answer. So what we're going to do is draw that out so you're sort of aware what we're going to get. We're just going to have, it'll be just one answer in here, yeah, one element. So let's write out our two matrices. So I've got C, which is 2, 4, and 7. Sorry, that's probably a little bit squashed together. 2, 4, and 7. And we're going to multiply it with D, which is 8, 6, and 5. All right. So let's have a look. If we look at our this element here, in there, it would be, in my answer, because this is a 1 by 1, it would be row 1, column 1. So I'm going to use this row with this column. So it's going to be, just going to delete that out. It's going to be 2 times 8 plus 4 times 6 plus 7 times 5. And if we tidy that up, 2 times 8 is 16 plus 24 plus 35. And we get, what do we get? 75? No? What do we get? That's 30, 40, yeah, 75. 75. Okay, and is that a 1 by 1? Yes. All right.